Hey, Sasha and everybody, this is Cheryl. West Side agents are asking me if there's a link that they could use or dial in from their cell phones because they don't have cell service.
RJ, Ali, can you guys help with that?
Yes, I'm working on getting that out to the agents who replied.
Awesome, thanks, Allie.
All right, well, maybe my laptop is dying. I can't, my video is dark. I can't get it to turn on.
We're glad you're here.
I found Alan yet. I see.
Okay, guess we'll get started. I want to start by saying we love each and every one of you. We know you're experiencing profound and severe loss, and we're here to be supportive to you, not just about real estate, but life. Watching everyone pull together over the last several days has been profoundly inspiring and exactly what our KW Ohana is all about. Let's come together and collectively link our hands. This meeting is intended to provide updated resources and information and a broker perspective on your business. Let's see if that's on yet. I have asked Todd to provide, he's been in close communication with Alan's family who's still missing. I've asked him to provide an update. Todd, are you available?
Mayor.
Okay.
Unfortunately, as of last night, still there's no positive news. The FBI has gone into his all his social media, phone, and email accounts trying to ping where they can find his last known location was that the phone would have pinged off of. But all the information about him checking into Red Cross was incorrect.
Okay, thank you, Todd. We have 11 agents who've
12.
lost their home.
12.
Okay.
You need to add, oh, you've got Ann Williams there. Okay.
And I wanted just to share this only so that you guys can reach out at whatever level that you want. 5 whose family members have lost their home, including Todd's daughter. What I'm working on with KWRI is for those that have lost their homes or family members that have lost their homes. Todd's already set up a GoFundMe. And if the rest of the agents who've lost their homes want to set up a GoFundMe or Amazon registry for what they need, Colette is at Mega Camp and we'll be sharing a QR code to all the resources to support Maui. And so we're identifying market centers that can adopt an agent, a Maui agent as an angel and help you. So those of you that are on this list, please reach out to me if you have any questions or set up something so that we can link them with you, either Amazon registry or GoFundMe.
I don't know if you can ask all these people, but Ram is collecting a list also. They just got $1,500,000 from the Realtors Relief Fund. 500,000 of that immediately is sent to us already, with the other million committed, if we need it, which we probably will. But let's see, I'll just read it. Just got off the word with the RRF board, approved 1.1 million relief fund. Individual applicants grant limited up to max of 3,000 per household. It'll be dispersed in installments with the first 500 that's already out, right? So that's some good relief there. It's not going to make people whole, but it's a start to get people to pay their be paying their keep paying their mortgages, right? Until they can get abatement or whatever. So let's make sure that all those guys are, they know about that.
I have something.
Thank
Maui United Way is also going to be doing grant allocation to individuals affected, $2,500 per household. It should be up and running this week. They simply just need to call 211 and they can be hooked into whatever services aside from that, and including that will be coming available this week. We're ramping up and about ready to roll it out. 500 for individuals and 2,500 for families affected.
Thank you, Wendy and Keone. And Barbara, I'm so sorry about your sister and husband. That's why we wanted the slide. Is there anyone else that has family who've lost their home? Please let us know. We want to connect you with all the resources that are available. So put it in the chat or contact me. Okay, Lauren Palakiko, there's Todd's daughter's GoFundMe. I actually texted this to Mark King and Jason Abrams. We're trying to get international exposure. And so there's, if RJ, if you could put the link in the chat. I don't know, Todd, if you want to speak to this at all.
And
Okay.
just, yeah, our kids lost everything. My son-in-law lost his business. It was completely destroyed. They lost his entire, they have no jobs anymore. Yeah, fortunately, we have a house and we're putting them up with as much family as we can and some of their friends as well right now. Whatever you can help, $5, $10, I'm sure they'll help them.
Hey, Todd. So sorry about your loss. Lauren Palakiko was going to try to get on from her taro farm. She, thankfully, her home was spared, but she has family that have lost their home. I wanted to give Keone an opportunity to update. He's been feet on the ground with updated information along with Ali and Ray on the west side and what's happening. And just your perspective, Keone, as an agent moving forward, we would appreciate that.
You know, we're getting bad press here and there. I don't think it's any realtors on Maui that are trying to bottom feed properties, right? So stay positive. We have a big opportunity to help people. I was just on the phone with Ram on a Zoom, emergency Zoom call, and you know, there's a lot of Filipino and Mexican people out there that there's a big language barrier. So if you guys have that skill set, let Ray know, because we'll take that list so that you guys can help communicate with them. You know, that there's lots of posts saying like, don't sell, don't sell, don't sell, right? And that's true. That's huge. We don't want people to sell. We don't want them to be, you know, the check right now waved in their face. I mean, however, they do need to remember that they got to pay their mortgage, right? Or get an abatement and stuff like that. That's where we can help you guys. These guys have lost everything. They're out of their mind right now. And we can be the voice for them to talk to their lender, right? Because they're in a normal day, they'd be like, what are they talking about, right? So we have the opportunity to help them with that communication to their lender to say, look, we need an abatement, whatever they need, right, to do that. And that's, I think, where our biggest skill set will come in. Everybody's been doing their part for that community, right? Whatever way you've been doing it, whether you've been going out there or just communicating things or whatever. That's our big opportunity, right? For them to keep their homes. There's multi-generational families that I know out there that need to stay in Lahaina. They're the heart of Lahaina, right? All these families, the Tihadas, the Kiahis, just to name a couple. But you know, they lost everything, right? So Graham is working on that, trying to work on some kind of either a a thing at RAM, right, where people can come in or they can call. So we might call on you guys to do that. Mihaela Stoops is getting inundated with property profile reports, right, valuation reports. I told her, send me the address, we can help you, right? Our agents can help you run those reports. They're easy to do, and we got the resource right here to do that. So just keep your ear out for people that need help in our profession, right? And our profession is wide. We can do a lot of things from here. So anyway, but everybody stay safe, and today's Alan's birthday, you guys. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, CUNY.
Hello.
Tom, you wanted to
Hi.
speak?
Hi. Yes, please. I'm sorry. I have limited connection, so I'm just trying to get it through while I can. So I'm working with the company, or they set up a charity, and they're doing all the main distribution here on the west side out of Kapalua Airport. You might have heard them on the radio yesterday. So I went up there and I was like, look, I got trucks and stuff. And they're like, we've got trucks and we've got that. But what we need right now is they're preparing for this potential storm coming our way. And they've got all these supplies coming in, but they need somewhere to store them. So in case, something happens. So this is somewhere where I'm already talking to people at the Kahana Gateway, or getting in touch with them today. I'm going to try and get in touch with Montage. But basically down in Lahaina, they just need places to store these supplies. That way, if the storm or rains come, like they say, they won't just get destroyed. So that's ways we can help. And then also they're needing like temporary structures like tents. So like wedding companies and places like that, storage containers to store these supplies. And so, I've talked to people at the Ridge. They all have these empty units, but they're applying for the FEMA program. And so I could go through some other lists of stuff they need right now, but that's one of the big ones. Is if we could secure space for them, commercial space that's not being used, that's in a well fortified type building. I think it's very smart of them to prepare for any other potential thing that come along. Having survived Hurricane Sandy, one of the biggest things that devastated, prolonged that pain and suffering was a huge blizzard came through right after that major hurricane. So it created more havoc. So they are very smart. They also have a charity that they just set up. Unfortunately, it's just Venmo and Zelle, where you can donate directly to them, and they're literally down in Lahaina, like buying stuff or anywhere they can get it. And people are it's just they're flying by the seat of their pants. But I'm so impressed how quickly they have set up distribution centers up here. So if you guys want to talk to me, it seems like cell phone is best. So my number is 917-270-7981.
Hey, Thomas, can I jump in too?
Sure.
So I posted something recently. Just a friend of a friend was connected to Convoy of Hope, and they're looking as well. But if you can look on my Facebook page, or I'll try to add you or whatever, there's a handful of suggestions. Plus, one fellow agent from Hawaii Life is offering some space too. So I'll get you connected to that chain as well, that thread, so you can see it.
And
Thank you.
what Tom's talking about, for you guys that don't know, there are a couple of there's a tropical storm that's well south of us, but as you guys know, that other Dora was well south too. And there's another one right behind it that will probably diminish all the way, tropical storm, but might bring us rain. Both of them could potentially bring us rain. And so that's what he's talking about. So they will need to store that stuff or cover it or whatever. And tarps are very limited on Maui right now. So if you guys have some tarps to spare, bring them to the central office, the Kahului office, and we can hand those out.
Also coolers and ratchet straps and anything to batten down the hatches is going to be needed over.
Thank you, Tom. We're glad you're safe. If you could put your name in the chat, if you can, or RJ could look it up and command that, would be much appreciated. Okay. KW Cares, we've been in close contact with them. Don't worry about the qualifications, just apply. They will call you Thank you for the graphic in the chat. They are ready. We've spoken with them. They're fully aware. Colette is going to speak to them again at Mega Camp this week. So go to kwcares.org and apply. I've only had one person apply so far. I write a letter and I'm prepared for each of you to support your application. So please go apply. Our company is ready to support you. Leanne Harris called me and said, everybody should apply. We have billions, just, access the care that you need. Ray has.
Just one, sorry for the interruption. Just to let you guys know, the region, we jumped on a call with them like the next day. They're supporting us 110%. And they said they're going to be very generous with those people that apply for that. So if you guys know anybody that needs that, we have that list. Tell them to apply for that. I mean, that's going to get them some good money too. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you,
Nationals
CUNY.
on board. Our national KW's on board too. They're talking to Todd, Gary Keller, and Mark King, who is the president. Talking to Todd and seeing what we need. So we got a good family here in KW helping us big time. So the good thing is everybody's been here. They've all been here. They've all been to Lahaina. So they know what we're going through.
Kayla, that's amazing. She's the only one I've seen apply so far. Michelle just said she did, but she got her funds already in a day. So you guys go, access if you need help, please apply.
The emergency funds are going out almost immediately. I have one other agent that got emergency funds to cover their immediate stuff.
It's great news, Ray. Thank you. Ray has been working tirelessly all weekend. This all happened day 2 when he dove in. He's created this Maui recovery checklist to kind of help you guys what to do now. I don't know if you want to speak to that at all, Ray.
Yeah, it's on the Facebook page, and I'm also happy to text it to you. Just let me know. But it is just kind of starting steps to get you back on your feet if you were impacted by the fire. My goal with that was to kind of remind people that there are a ton of resources built into like homeowners and renters insurance for short-term housing after this type of loss, and for rental car coverage after this type of loss if your car was damaged or lost to the fire. And then this is in no way a comprehensive list of the relief funds that are available. I'm going to be working today to get a full list of what's available that we know of right now. But it's just the first step. So definitely register with the disaster assistance so you can get, I don't know how they're phrasing it, but it's like your impact number, like your identification number, so that you can start applying for relief funds through state, county, and federal relief funds. And then obviously KW Cares we've touched on. I cannot stress to you enough that if you were impacted by the fire, if you're displaced for the short term, any of those types of things qualify you. There is some monetary qualifications, but they'll discuss that with you. Just call if you think that you have been impacted and that you would benefit from those funds. Like Keone said, they are really being generous because they know that not only are expenses super high on Maui already, but they know that we need the help. So they're helping with that. And then I'm coordinating the short-term shelter housing. So if you do have a space available, reach out to me or fill out that form that was sent out via email from, I believe, Friday or Thursday. And just let us know if you have like long-term rentals, short-term rentals. I think Sasha Keone, or somebody, correct me if I'm wrong, said that the state has suspended the requirements that previously existed that limited certain spaces to only being 6-month or 12-month minimums. And so if you have any space at all, let me know. And we're also working with MEO to put a list together. They're submitting for funding for rental coverage for places that are housing displaced or people affected by the fire. So if you have a property or if your client has a property, get with me, we'll get that on the list. And basically what they're saying is that their outlook is that if we get those properties in, the rent would be covered for that 6-month or 12-month period by this fund. So that will kind of take out all of the middlemen as far as people worrying about rent payments, et cetera. It'll come directly from that MEO fund. So get that to me ASAP. I need all of the information though. Don't say North Key and a penthouse. I need the address, I need the rental term, I need the cost per month, the owner's information, phone, email, etc. So get that to me. And then just a couple of other resources at the bottom. But again, this is a living document, so I'll be updating that ASAP here today.
Thank you, Ray. You're amazing. Everything you've done already. He's also created a map of resources for all of you. What's available. I wanted to announce before I forget that Jonathan is offering, and we would love to see you guys in person at 10 o'clock today for support. Just urging everybody to come to the office. Let's come together, talk story. He's offering non-denominational prayer. If you're a praying person, we would love to see all of you in person. If you can make it here, we have another 5,000 being delivered to the office today. So we're really working to organize everything after that. If you wanted to help with mobilizing the office supplies to get them more for you and your families that need them.
You guys can directly help if you have closings coming up. In your DAs, there's a box, right, that says KW Cares. This is what it's all about, you guys. This is where the money comes from all over the world, right? Because we're a global company. And people check that box, right? And they give whatever they can. And it adds up real quick with, how many agents we have. So please think about that when you guys are having closings to check that box. Because this all goes to, people are getting money today on that, right? That's the power of that fund. So think about that when you guys close from here on out, right? Because there'll be disasters other places and people in our very situation. So think about that next time you have a closing.
Thank you, Keone. We have had some agents just.
Lauren's on the call. Did you want?
Oh, Lauren, yay. Okay. If you want to, Lauren, there you go. You made it. Do you want to speak to your experience? I know it's spotty. Please, we would love to hear from you and what's happening on West Maui, your needs, and what we can do to help.
Hi. Yes, thanks, Sasha. So my family and I are safe, and our home is thankfully still standing. This time the fire was beneath us and the wind was blowing away from us, so we were safe. As far as what's going on in town, we've been out. We did a couple deliveries for a few days, just hitting up all the different hubs up north. From Esterns, Kahana, up in the Pili, Ponokowai, and Hawaiian homes. Everyone is just overwhelmed with so much aloha, so many donations. Some places are overwhelmed because there's been just so much love coming in, a lot of food, clothing, water, gas, and propane. But it's just, the fact is, although they're overwhelmed right now, it's going to be an ongoing need that we're going to need to keep coming for a long, long time. So hopefully it's not just the beginning hype, but an ongoing thing. We've had so many family members that have lost the homes that they actually own. When we tried to make a count last night, is going upwards of almost 20. One family member passed away that we know of. Many more counts and family that have lost homes that they rent. So basically our whole town is now displaced. So it's just a horrific situation going on over here. And I mean, it's pulling everybody together strong, but the bright lights are shining bright, and then the dark ones are dark. You know, there's a lot of looting going on and some scary things happening, but you know, overall, Lahaina's pulling together strong. All of the state really is coming in strong for us. We've been having boats coming in nonstop, but there's only one little boat ramp in Kahana that's able to take it. We've been having planes coming in pretty much nonstop yesterday. Yeah, so we're just overwhelmed with love and support here. It's just, I think, the ongoing monetary needs for everybody to be able to rebuild. And one thing that I do want to say, and I know I'm going to say it cautiously because of the field that we're in, but the big thing yesterday was everybody is super scared of, you know, our town has obviously been obliterated and there's going to be huge change, but it's so historic and we're all from here, you know, many countless generations, and we don't want to see it change, you know. We want our people to stay here, but apparently some of the families that own land here have been getting farmed from realtors, and that is just been causing a lot of discord, and people are just really uneasy about that idea. So it's been something that was a huge topic online yesterday. So I did want to bring that up as maybe cautiously really think about that right now, just for everybody's feelings and emotions are running very high. We don't want the Hawaiians to lose their lands any further. So that's just one thing that I wanted to touch up on too.
Well, what's important for us to know as realtors, Lauren? You say.
Gosh, I mean, just out of humanity, you know, it's not a time to profit and not a time to gain as well as, you know, benefit for yourself, but more come from a place of giving and love, you know. I feel like that's what the whole world's trying to do right now. And so it's just, as a new realtor in my own town, seeing this happen, it's just made me feel very uncomfortable. Seeing all these posts yesterday, it was very sad that people's generational family homes are being farmed by realtors, and it just made me feel really sad too.
You know, Lauren, I talked to the Realtors Association, and as far as we know, it's not our members. We think these are mainland people calling them. I just couldn't imagine it being one of our members, to tell you the truth. I mean, it would just, I can't imagine that, but it could be. But we suspect that it's mainland people calling in.
It's just kind of bad style, to be honest, but that's almost worse that it's mainlanders, you know. But it is up to their discretion, their decision to sell it or not. But it's just really upsetting for the community. It's been a huge topic yesterday, so I just wanted to bring it up.
I don't know if you were on when I was talking about the association, but we're trying to get something together where we can educate, right, the gang from Lahaina and trying how to pay their mortgages, right? Keep paying their mortgages even though they don't have anything, to keep their properties, right? They they abate their mortgages, whatever it is, but they gotta keep it, right? So they got to get in contact with their lenders and stuff, and we're trying to put together a group that can help them do that, right? That can talk for them, because
awesome,
on a good day they're out of, you know, they won't know what they're talking about, but we can help them, and we have people that can translate and all that stuff, so that they can, you know, push the mortgage back or whatever the lender will do. Because, you know, the White House is aware of this, Congress is of course all aware of this, and if we have to get them involved because these lenders are being unscrupulous and not helping you know, abate these mortgages, then we'll have to do that. But right now we want to help all you guys on the west side just to keep, you know, paying or push the payments out, right? Whatever they can do to keep their properties, right? Because that's how it happens. Once they start going to foreclosure, that's when the bottom feeders come in, right? And they start picking all these properties off, and then it's a different
Mhm.
town, you know?
Yeah, we don't want to see it change. So if there's any documents, any type of info like that, do you think you can email it to me and I can just share it on my social media?
Okay,
I would love to get that out.
yeah, we're working on that now. So as soon as we get it all together, I'll get with you.
Thank you, Keone.
We
Keone,
love you, Lauren, and are so happy that you're safe, and thank you for showing up and.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Love you guys.
Stay safe.
Okay.
Sasha, I have a question if we have time.
Who's this? I don't see your name on the call.
This is Sarah Twitchell.
Oh, hi, Sarah. Thank you for, yeah, please.
Yeah. Along with what Lauren was just talking about, if you guys could educate myself as a realtor and others on the call so we can put a stop to these rumors, but I don't know the answer when people are talking about that potentially FEMA or whoever else will deem their land uninhabitable, either their vacant land now that their home is destroyed on, or homes that are in the area that are still standing because of toxic chemicals. What do we know about this? People are afraid that that is what their home will be classified as, and then therefore will be not have the value it once had, and they cannot build on it. Can you address this?
Yeah, that I've seen that as well. Do any of our brokers want to speak to that?
I don't know.
There's enough information out there to make that kind of decision. It can be deemed that way, but I don't believe a fire is that situation. So we should probably just tell everybody, sit down, relax, let things play itself out. Don't go crazy. And Aaron just posted that word is being spread that organizations like FEMA and Red Cross want to take land, so not to sign anything from them. I do believe that's false, but I agree, do not sign anything without anybody right now. Just, let things come out, and as an organization, we will help you guys once we have the information. I know everybody's probably getting a little antsy, but again, just take time, let us help you figure it all out. And really spreading the stuff that's coming out, like Aaron just said, it's probably not the best idea, because once the fear mongering starts, it really gets worse for everyone. So, if you hear something, call Keone, Michelle, or myself, and let's see if we can, or any of the other brokers, and we'll try to research it for you. But let's just watch what we spread so we don't spread panic to our people.
Thank you, Lee. I see you're on.
Thanks.
Yeah, I just wanted to jump in here for a second. I today or tomorrow at the latest, I am hoping to talk to a realtor who came through the campfire in Paradise, California. And so she has information that is going to be valuable to the people in Lahaina, hopefully addressing some of the questions that are coming up right now. So that's when I get that information, I will write up as much as I can, get that out to the other brokers and the folks on the west side, so that we can start passing along some factual information from somebody that's been through this with FEMA and with the insurance and the mortgages and all of those things. Because people really need to sit tight until they have true information. Don't just sit tight. We'll get real information out to the folks we've been talking about through our team, through other realtors. Just, right now, the main thing is cooperation and getting the truth out so people can make good decisions.
Thank you, Lee. That's a great idea.
Hey, Sasha.
Yeah.
Something real quick. Make sure, please, that if you are going to look at these places that we're getting on the list, that you don't not show up. I know that happened, and we're all fighting so hard to get all these options from our buyers, our friends, everyone. So if you make an appointment to go see it, just keep that appointment, or at least let them know that you're not coming, so they're not just sitting there waiting on you. Even if you don't like it, just do that respectfully. because it's so hard to get those people now to come back on the list for somebody else to have that place.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Jonathan.
Hey, everybody.
Yes, 10 o'clock. Yeah.
A few things, of course. Wait, hold on. Sorry. I'm gonna talk in a sec when this dog isn't barking. Sorry. Okay. Okay, if you want a brief smile, I might have said this on a previous call, but the dog that you hear barking in the background in my house is not my dog. That's my neighbor's dog that has come into my house and always is barking when I'm on Zooms. So my wife is getting that. I just wanted to let everybody know that the purpose of the, kind of gathering, I feel like obviously this has been a really challenging and traumatic week for all of us on the island. I think everybody knows somebody that has been affected deeply, lost a home. Like we all know, we have one of our own that is still missing, that we're holding prayers for, that him and his mother will be located. And so, yeah, I just wanted to say that the purpose is for us to come together, and the emphasis is going to just be on how we face this challenge, how we move forward, and letting everybody know that we are here for each other, to support each other. I was also just feeling like, since this is our company huddle, I've been fielding a few questions, and I thought our brokers might be able to help. As much as we are focused on the emergency, I've been volunteering, as many of you have, and getting supplies and all of that. There's also the questions that I've got a few from agents, like, what do we do work-wise? So I just, I have a few people that have called and want to see a property upcountry, and so I just wanted to know if the brokers could speak to the agents, because it is something, is there a tactful response? Should we just be putting everything on hold for the next 2 weeks? Is it okay to still do that? I think it would help the agents in the company to just hear from you guys on what you feel is appropriate.
Hi,
Yes, we
Jonathan. Good
absolutely
morning.
wanted to discuss that today.
Hi, Jonathan. Good morning. We are going to be meeting later today and coming up with some specific direction. My immediate direction is, do not do any calls, any mailing, any marketing on anything that's in the Lahaina district. When I say Lahaina district, I mean Lahaina town. Our realtors do have to stay in business, and you are all independent contractors, but we have to determine what that fine line is. I know that Steve Baker, our incoming president, is in talks with the board at RAM. And we will be talking later today to give you more specific direction. I think you all have to stay in business. And for today, I would say, as long as you're working outside of the district, you guys, we have to pay our bills as much as we need to support and help everyone. So until you get further direction, I'm fine with you showing a North Shore property, an upcountry property, a central property, South Maui, to the degree that it's unaffected, just nothing in the affected areas, and to be ultra compassionate and sensitive. We are having a lot of negative press online, and there were videos and rants that were borderline threatening in some cases yesterday towards realtors. So be mindful of that and be careful. I don't want anyone attacked or hurt because you decide to go show a property. Use your best judgment, and we'll have more direction for you at the end of the business day.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome. Sasha, can I speak for a moment?
Absolutely.
I've been waiting for my slide to come up, and everyone else is kind of going. So I just wanted to let everyone know, up through Friday, our focus was agents, to account for our agents. And we've done that. We've identified 224 out of 225. And thank you all for responding. It made our job much easier. This week's priority for me is addressing our listings and escrows in the Lahaina district. I'm working with those agents to pull down burned out listings if they are fully identified as burned out. We still need seller consents, seller sign-offs. You can't independently do anything. We have a fiduciary responsibility to our clients. Additionally, if you have a closing on the west side and it involves a loan and you need help, please contact me or Keone directly. I am already aware that lenders are not funding and not proceeding to close loans. I have a loan, a personal escrow Wendy and I have in Kahana, that the lender is now requiring an appraiser to go in and inspect the property for smoke and wind damage, even though it is nowhere near the fire. Kahana is miles and miles away. So if you have an upcoming closing anytime between now and the end of the year on the west side with a loan, please reach out to me so we can support you and help you facilitate. How do we work through that? Obviously, an appraiser can't get in their car and drive to the property and do that inspection. So now we have contractual issues on both sides, and it's very, very challenging. So please don't navigate on your own. Please reach out to Keone and myself and Marion on any of these more technical issues. We're here for you. We're facilitating out of the Kahului office. So that we will be working with all that this week. I want to make sure that if you have closings and you're impacted by this on the west side, we figure out a workaround, a solution, and that may mean us getting on the phone with the lenders. Going forward for the future, NAR certificate, short sale and foreclosure resource. If you can take that online, if you want to keep busy and do something late at night at home, I have that certificate. I know Keone, Marion, and I have been through multiple downturns in the market and all have experiences with short sales and foreclosures. Tell the people affected to contact us early, and we can call lenders and speak for them. We just need a written authorization. A broker needs to be doing that right now, but we can, roll out additional resources moving forward. Is there any specific questions for me right now while we're on? I'm sorry that I can't get a video to turn on. I am in Kula, and I've got very little bandwidth up here. No questions?
I'm wondering, is the broker class still happening in October? Because I just feel like, I'd love to take that and, just kind of step up into how I can help the community as well.
That's a Keone question.
Okay, thank you.
As far as right now, yes. I actually have a class starting tonight. We had a couple students that obviously couldn't make it because they were from the west side. But there's you guys, there's still an economic factor, right, that we're dealing with. We don't want another tragedy here with that, right? So we still need to do business, you guys, right? That's the ugly side of it, that we do need to keep our economic engine going. Obviously not on the west side because their resources have been highly diminished there. Although I did have an agent that was had a client that wanted to buy a house to house 4 families. So, stuff like that, that's legit, man. That stuff has to happen, right? Michelle talked about the issues that come with that though, right? Especially if they're buying it on the other side, right? So, but remember, we do have to keep the economic engine of Maui going.
And to add to that, Keone, if you have magnets on the side of your card, I'd pull them off. If you have shirts and stuff that you're wearing identifying you as a realtor and you're in that market, in that area right now, I would not recommend that you wear it. I mean, I would recommend you be as low key, as sensitive, as compassionate as you can be. I had people who know me well who were calling me, telling me to pull back my people and in a very vulgar and aggressive way yesterday. So I just think that we have to help, and we all have to stay in business. And that's where my position to Ram is going to be, is that all of us have to stay in business and pay our bills to be able to help and uplift and support others. And most of us are not independently wealthy. So be sensitive. I would not be flashing that you're a realtor, or just be sensitive. That's the best I can say at this point. We're
We
going to
have
get
a
more
question
direction for you today.
we have a question, Michelle, I think that we spoke about yesterday. Nalani is saying open house signs in Kihei. What is your perspective on open houses?
Well,
Michelle.
I can tell you Ram will be giving us direction on that. I'm not going to speak to it now, but I know that there's a proposal on the table to eliminate all open houses and all realtor marketing.
Oh, yeah.
For the foreseeable future. I do not support that position, but I would not be out in Kihei with an open house sign today. I can't restrict you, but I'm recommending, can you give us 2 or 3 days, give us to close of business Wednesday, to gather with our associations, both at the local and state level, and get some industry-wide direction on how we're going to respond.
I would highly suggest nobody has an open house right now. There's going to be more backlash coming, as I'm sure some of you saw my social media get blown up over the last few days. So I had to take a lot of my stuff down, and that's fine. That's the right. But I would suggest as a community, we don't advertise any kind of real estate for at least a few weeks. Let things die down. Let our company figure out a way to handle this. I think we're going to come from some kind of giving way, I'm sure, at some point down the road. But at this point, I would highly suggest no marketing right now. It will get word out to the Kanaka. It will. I'm telling you right now, it'll come out and it'll hurt you tremendously in the long run. So good idea not to. And more importantly, for your safety, do not hold an open house right now. I think that's the other thing to think about, is safety wise.
Thank you, Todd.
I agree with Todd. Like, we don't need to do open houses. If we have clients that want to buy something south side, whatever, help them, but we don't need to be pushing that stuff in people's face right now, right? We're doing other things too, so.
And Kathy, again, your answer is yes, you can assist a family who lost their home buying in Central. Go ahead.
Hey, I wanted to just say that even for people that are calling from, the mainland and wanting to buy here, another thing I think is one thing that we can utilize is referrals, and say, hey, like this area is not really available, or if you're not, or even people who have changed their mind, that maybe they were thinking about Hawaii, that maybe they're now thinking, Virginia or Texas or California, or if you have clients that you've been working with for a long time and now they're considering to buy somewhere else, I think that's maybe a really helpful opportunity to still keep the economic engine going for referrals, and just start to help your clients refer out and refer to different areas, so that that if they are no longer considering to buy in Hawaii, right? So still being there for your clients and keeping our market center going too.
Thank you, Kayla. I thought breakfast delivered. That's awesome. Okay.
Just to piggyback on what was said before, from a cultural perspective, I think the key word right now, in terms of just using our own common sense, is sensitivity. Let's keep in mind with every decision you make that there are literally hundreds, thousands of people, but hundreds that are literally displaced. There's still so many people that have no power, have no water, upcountry. There's a huge community upcountry with contaminated water, so everybody's having to use emergency and bottled water. And so we're still in absolute immediate recovery mode. And so the optics, just in terms of what Todd was saying and what Michelle was saying, you have to think of just the optics of things. It's not that anybody is wanting to do anything, you know, offensive or wrong. But while we need to, of course, you know, keep our businesses and all of that, I think being sensitive to where everybody's at is going to help inform our decisions. And speaking of which, I did, you know, I know it's like the last thing anybody wants to hear, but I do have friends that work at the hospital, and there has been a spike in COVID as well, just so people are aware of it. For those of you, maybe like myself, have been volunteering at the shelter or shelters, or just, you know, being in large exposure areas, it's just something to be aware of. So I just wanted to mention that too. Thank you.
My son is a fireman in Kula, and it actually happened on his birthday, the 7th. And he worked non-stop for 3 days. And finally, he gets to come home and go to sleep. But then my daughter and her boyfriend has a boat. So what they've been doing is they've been getting supply, and he lives in Kihei, and they sail over to Lahaina and drop off the supply. So I'll find out more. And if you guys have supply, I can let you know when he's doing it again. And then, you know, we can bring them more supply through the, yeah.
Thank you, Ruby. Yeah,
Okay.
Todd was sick during in the comments. Kayla, did you have something else, or is that from previous, your hand? Sorry, okay. All right, so we have gathered resources that we're sharing internationally on ways to help. Colette has a Venmo, and then she can Venmo people in need. KW Cares, as Keone said, is the international organization. The reason it doesn't, the monies that are sent there don't come directly to us is because they don't want to limit what they give based on what is given for this event. So that is an international organization, and they're the ones, Kayla had said she got immediate response. I will support, and I write a letter for each of you. It goes digitally, so please apply if you need it. We've also set up an Amazon registry of needs for that we're hearing for the Market Center. All of you who've lost homes or have family that lost homes, like Todd did, you can set up a GoFundMe or create an Amazon registry. And we have a link tree that Colette will be sharing at MegaCamp, where people can go in and adopt a person who's lost their home and either fill up their Amazon registry or help with their GoFundMe. I'm personally seeking 15 market centers across the country to be an angel to each of you who has family that have lost their home or who have personally lost their home. And then
And
Ray, go ahead.
Stay tuned to the Realtors Association, because we're getting a lot of money in there. Not only from the Realtors Relief Fund, but like the Virginia Association Realtors is sending over $25,000. And the National Executives Association is going on right now for the realtors. So Steve Baker's up there, and they're all talking about it, right? Of course. So they're all trying to get their associations to send money too. So that's going to be a huge resource for our members to get funds from too. So follow them and check their emails when they come through, because that's where the announcements will be, on their Facebook page or their on your emails that you get from RAM.
Yeah, we'll keep in close touch. Thank you, Keone, for your leadership in that. We also are gathering housing assistance. I know a lot of you have clients, and go back, RJ, if you can. A lot of you have clients who volunteered their condo, their short-term rental, their rooms. I had one agent who offered, she says, both my kids can sleep with me. If someone needs a room, they can have their 2 rooms. And it's very generous. So we're collecting that list to connect. Once we know people in need, we can connect them. And so that QR code is, Ray is gathering. We need how long, duration, if there's a price, where it is. So that's something as a care call to your clients. You can say, hey, do you want to help Maui? Are you able to donate your short-term rental to the needs? And Bonnie, would love to hear from you.
Hi, good morning. I just got a FaceTime audio call from Allie Bodick, who is another one of our newer agents who lost everything. And what I'm gathering
Allie
is
lost her home?
Allie lost her home, and you haven't heard from her because people aren't able to communicate. And so we're on all this call like, oh, okay, here's the help, here's the resource. And she is still living out of a car with her 2 kids and her husband. So what I want to address is how can we get the content of this conversation out to our colleagues who are on the west side and are having to drive to a parking lot where somebody's got a Starlink set up so they can actually get internet. I mean, they're still very, very closed off over there. So for example, Allie contacted me in the middle of this call and said, we found a place to stay for a couple of nights in Kihei, but my kids need to start school and we want to be in Kihei. Can we find a 2-bedroom? And she's not privy to kind of all this information that we're sharing on the call today. And I'm sure she's not the only one. So how can we help people such as Allie and her family find longer term housing? Like, for example, if Ray could just kind of text me everything in one text, because we're going to have another FaceTime call at a later time today so that I can start trying to feed her some information. But people are really still out in the dark there, really just completely cut off. Thank you.
Yeah, that's devastating. I spoke with her after and she said her place was fine. Yes, we will find access. I'd like RJ, if you can allow screen sharing to show you guys what we have done as far as tracking. Any information that you have regarding people who've lost their homes, please let us know, because RJ, if you can enable the screen sharing. We have started calls the first day and multiple attempts to reach out to everyone. So I think that's our next step, is to reach back out and confirm, and then also,
Yeah, people are still unable to communicate if they're on the west side. It's very, my client tried to call me today. We couldn't hold a call. They can't open a link in a text. They can basically text if they get to a Starlink area, but that's it. Yeah.
In the next couple of days, there's going to be a donation. There's a donation of 400 Starlinks coming through. So it won't be too much of a problem for much longer, but any connection to the west side, you need any communications, I can definitely help with that.
Thank you, Chris. And we know that some of your family has lost their homes.
The other thing to remember, Sasha, is we still have fire burning. The fire in Kula flared up yesterday. We had helicopters dropping water again. Wendy Makahelig went up to her lot. Her lot was on fire when they arrived. So we are still in fires, at least up country and in some areas of the island. Also, even if someone's house did not burn down, I'm hearing reports there are homes that they're deeming uninhabitable, even if the structure is standing, due to chemical exposure and smoke and wind damage. So
it's all the houses.
I'm sorry, Chris?
That's all the houses up there by Lahaina Luna and Maui Princess School.
Yeah, so even if the house is standing, that doesn't mean they can go home and live in it. And I understand FEMA is requiring inspections to check for structural integrity before a family can remain in the home. They may get in, but then FEMA might tell them you need to leave. So I'm hearing some of that as well.
Aloha guys, Nikolai real quick. I am in Kula as well, and I do want to share a little story from yesterday. I was washing the dishes and just the fumes alone of the water, I was dizzy for like half the day. So we're not drinking it, we're not doing it, but even like physical contact, my partner even has like burning on her hands. If anyone's up country, whatever is in the water, it's really just not good. So, yeah.
Bonnie, if I could just touch on your question about how are we supporting these people. We today are actually meeting as a staff to kind of regroup. We had our first initial rounds of contacts with all of our agents to kind of assess needs and situations. But we're going to regroup today, and then we haven't finalized it, but my hope is that we'll have a single staff person dedicated to each of our impacted agents so that we could be a liaison for all of the different resources. Of course, if they're on the west side with limited communication, that's going to be really difficult. So we are advising that if they are able to get to Central and stay in a temporary shelter, which by the way, we have a ton of available, that's going to be the best way for us to be able to get them the resources like financing and grants, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we're working to kind of reconnect with everyone we know have been impacted. That said, anyone on this call, if you know of someone that has been impacted, I'd rather know more information than less. So just reach out to me or put them in the comments or like DM me on here and I'll add them to my list just to make sure we know of everyone.
Anything south of Leah Lee Parkway pretty much is a no water, no even showering because of that toxicity of it. When fires happen, those pipes turn toxic. I think it's benzenate or something it creates. And that's going to be a while from what I hear from the water department, my friend in the water department. They're going to shut all that water off. So even those standing homes down there, they won't be able to live in because of that. Anything above that, they're saying in an abundance of caution, they're saying don't use it. But he said, water flows down. So anything above that point, at some point they'll totally cut it off. Right now they're just going down the lines, trying to fix the ones that are broken, up above that area. And then they're doing random testing all the way through to just make sure that above Leah Lee is good. So just let people know that if they're below that street, then they should not even shower in that water, as Nikolai said. Very toxic.
Thank you, Keone, Nikolai. Bonnie, did you have something else? I see your hand is up. Okay, I wanted to share with you guys the first step when this all went down. We identified all our agents and those potentially impacted, had multiple rounds of calls. And so this is where we're tracking. So if you have information, as an example, Ali Bodick, that I really appreciate that you share so that we can continue to get the resources to you. Okay.
Sasha?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, this is okay. Who's ever on the phone, you go first, I'll go after.
This is Sarah Twitchell. I just wanted to get information out there. I'm on the west side here in front of a cell tower, so I have service, but just so that way people understand who are not here on the west side, why people are not leaving the west side, like myself, who has a home still standing. And people say, why aren't you going to Kihei where there is service, where it is safer, or another location? And it's because there's looting happening in the empty homes that are still standing. So like our neighborhood has created a neighborhood watch. Other neighborhoods have done the same. People are afraid to leave their homes and come back to nothing, just so you understand why we're still here.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah, for that perspective.
Yeah, hi. Yeah. Hi, this is Jeannie Howerstock. If anybody's, I'm up country. If anybody's interested about the water advisory, because there's many things that they're recommending not to do. It's not just drinking water, it's limiting the use of hot water because it's reactive with the chemicals that are in the water that they're dropping to put out the fires. They're saying to avoid using clothes dryers. Anyway, if anybody's interested, I can put my phone number in the chat and I can text you that information. And also just to let you guys know, there are about, I think somewhere around 16 homes that are totally destroyed up here. And on the other day, I mean, we just put a thing on Facebook and we had like 25 people coming up with chainsaws, helping us with the property. We never, ever could have done it on our own. And we're just so thankful So just reaching out to Facebook, I mean, within 2 hours, we had people coming up. So it's just something that, you guys can also do. And the people that were up here said they're not going over to the Lahaina side yet because of the restrictions, and they're trying to work with people in Kula. But as soon as that opens up, Facebook, just regular Facebook, I mean, it's, they're going to be available to just go out and help. And I'm telling you, there's lots of big chainsaws out there. So anyway, if anybody wants any additional information, I'll put my phone number in the chat. Aloha, everybody, be safe, and our hearts are breaking for everybody, Okay.
I've been thankful to Ally has been a core rock in the office on Facebook, getting all the updated information. Tom wanted to say something, and then Chris.
Oh, I was just giving the update. I don't know for West Side people, I'm avoiding the lines right now, but basically they're issuing a placard that allows travel for the West Side people. I believe that if I understand it correctly, it will allow us to use the main highway and to come back, to go and come back instead of having to go around the backside like so many have done. Sorry, I'm getting messages right now. We're kind of trying carpool up there to get the placards, but and then yeah. So basically, if you're on the West Side, if you can get that out to West Side people, I'm lucky to have Verizon, so I have pretty good cell service here in my my home, but I have another phone that's on a different carrier, and it's just been on SOS basically the whole time. So yeah, we're still very limited on information, and just getting it out there as much people as possible. And I'm probably going to have to jump off of here to go work on getting that because apparently it's not too crazy right now. But anyways, one other thing I want to add is I am a licensed contractor on the West Side. So if anybody needs help with anything, I have tools and everything that I can help with to make any repairs, or I'm trying to balance keeping people somewhat employed, and then also using so we can cover our expenses, but as also using our skills to help be here and help rebuild and help repair. So just keep that in mind.
Thank you, Thomas. Okay, Chris.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Chris Ishizaka. I've been sending convoys out since the beginning of the fires. We've organized about 5 or 6 different tour companies. We've been taking vehicles and truckloads over to the West Side from the airport, the Red Cross, and all the different distribution centers. We have a ton of supplies right now. Everybody's pretty much overstocked. Asked for a halt yesterday on stuff. We're looking for volunteers. Anybody that can volunteer their time, anybody with special skills. I just sent you a message, Tom. We have a website up here. Oh, Tom left. I need his contact info. But there's a website up here. If you can, just go in there and list if you'd like to, or anybody that'd like to volunteer, what they can do. We're looking for security workers overnight because, as you mentioned, there's been a lot of looting. But basically, we're handling the main distribution to the hubs out there. We're working with FEMA. They have a main EOC base camp there at Gateway. So we're sending all supplies there, and from there it gets distributed to the smaller distribution centers. As you mentioned, there's no communication there. So my drivers are kind of acting as a communication bridge between all the separate distribution centers. They're all working independently of each other. And so if you need to get a message out and you wanted to get a message out easily, we can send a message out and it would get to all the distribution centers, which is where people are getting their supplies for the time being. If there's any way else that you guys can think that you can help, please be in contact with me. I'm working with the leaders of the Red Cross, the Office of the Mayor. So anybody, just kind of connecting all the dots, because especially when it comes to the West Side, we're the main source of connectivity between everybody. Like I said, though, that's going to change soon. There's about 400 Starlinks coming in. They do have a few out there right now, but they're still kind of working out the kinks, and they're pretty spotty. If you are on the West Side and you need to use cell coverage, the best place is Kapalua Airport. I have drivers there. So if any of you want to go to the West Side and want to help, just let me know. I'm sending out convoys every day, 8 a.m. We're meeting at the Longs parking lot in Maui Lani. And And yeah, that's pretty much it. But we're sending multiple convoys a day. So at any time you guys want to jump in, we'll appreciate the help.
Thank you, Chris. You have a tour company you're utilizing to support. Can you tell, you have family
Yeah.
that lost their home?
Yeah. I can't even count how many at this point. There's, in one building alone, I had like 3 generations, like my father's brother, his wife, my father's sister, all their kids and their families. And that building went up and all of them lost their home at one time, and that's not to mention the other people that had homes there, So at my house, I've had 3 family members living with me. Luckily, they just found a place over there on the west side. The Sheraton had opened up their doors to employees that could work there. I've since heard that they're opening up to anybody that's been disaffected. So our next relief effort's probably going to be seeing who we can take from the shelters and who wants to go back and stay in the hotels. Right now, the Ritz-Carlton and the Sheraton have opened up their doors for residents that lost their home to go and stay. But, as they said, the water's bad. There's no power. Some of the power is being restored. So, they need a lot of supplies even in there. So stove burners and the little propane tanks has been a big issue as far as, what we need distributed and to the right people. But yeah, it's terrible out there. If you've been to Maui High, it's one thing. And then if you go to War Memorial, the mood is just completely changes. I mean, there's people that have lost their homes and they've lost their jobs. And some of them are getting up in there in age. I think as of yesterday, I heard there was 5 suicides already. Like people are just losing hope. So it's a really big thing, just us being there, because I can just imagine how hard it is to go and start over like that.
Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing and for sharing. Okay, so we have resources. I think the next slide, RJ has. Oh, this is how to apply for assistance from FEMA. Again, we'll defer the brokers on that moving forward, disasterassistance.gov. And they have an 800 number in the chat. And then, okay, as Keone had said, RAM is collectively working to provide shelter and collect what shelter's available. So don't hesitate to reach out to RAM. I also wanted to share there's free telehealth available. I learned from Allie she's amazing with Facebook information. Here's telehealth. At the next slide, RJ. Oh, no. Okay, sorry. There you go. Telehealth available, appointments. Don't hesitate. And then the slide before, they've set up a new emergency management website that has all the information that's available. So wanted to share that with you guys. And all our trainings canceled, except we will be, mauistrong.hawaii.gov is the central location for information. We're canceling all classes except these huddles and our board meeting. And then we will be, the board will have the opportunity to meet with the Mo Anderson on Monday, the 28th, the same time as the huddle. Does anyone else want to, before we go?
Going back to Chris's mental health, saying it's real, and Kaiser opened up their mental health, and it's not only for Kaiser patients, right? They're accepting anybody that needs some mental health to talk to somebody or whatever, that from professionals. So pass that resource out to them too.
That's a great point, Ken. We also have KW resources for that. We have MAPS coaches standing by that are trained in this type of crisis response. And I just want everyone out there to know that it's been really hard. I haven't even been near fires at my house, and I'll tell you, I'm probably going to reach out to them because it is emotional just seeing all of the things that are going on around us and speaking with people. So even if you're not directly impacted by the fires, do not hesitate to use that resource. Okay, it's not like oh, leave it for people that are out of there. No, everyone that is in Maui right now probably should be using a resource like that. So if you need help, don't hesitate to reach out to me and I'll get you in touch with them.
Yeah, we're in a marathon, guys. This is going to be a long journey and we need to be careful not to wear ourselves to the ground now. Take care of yourself. That's why Jonathan wanted to set up a community meeting at 10. Well, it's almost 10, but just get here and we'll spend some time together in person. And we love all of you guys. And I'm just so thankful for the opportunity to know you. And we're in this together and we'll do whatever we can to help all of you. Okay, hope to see you in the office.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Aloha.
Thank you.